Hello, Will here, and today we are in Gran Turismo, and we are doing the B license. So yeah, just gonna get the B license out of the way, get this done, because I do need it to carry on with basically the main campaign of the game, because this is unfortunately actually one of the aspects of the cafe menus, is to basically get. But I think with the cafe menu you only have to do like literally basically this one, you only need to do B-1 and that is it. And that's all you need to do. But obviously with this video we were going to do all the others and we're going to get the entire B license, and obviously you're going to aim to get the reward for getting all of the bronze trophies and all of the gold trophies. Now this video is going to be slightly different in the ways of its commentary on the premise of, because I've already recorded the video. This is just an overlay of commentary on the top, because it's like it'd be a bit weird, because obviously a lot of the licenses that you have to do for the license to get your licenses on this, a lot of the things are very short, simple tasks. Right, so we're now on to B2, which is fairly similar to basically what the first one was. It's just with a faster car, basically. So now this is not a guide on how to do it. I'm not going to explain exactly where you need to start braking and this, that, and the other, because I don't recall where exactly it was where I was supposed to brake. I just broke when I thought it was a good idea to do so. So sometimes a little bit trial and error, but since I've already done this one once before, I had a bit of an idea what I needed to do with it. But there you go, we just about got that one. I think that was, I don't know, around about the 100 mark, 200 mark, something like that. I don't know. Again, this is not a guide. This is just a progression video. But right, so now on to B3, which I think this is the first one where I don't get the gold straight away. But it's just because it's not like I'm not trying to do this perfectly. This is not going to be a perfect run. There are going to be somewhere I'm going to slightly fail it first time round. So I might only get the silver technically at first, or I might actually even get the bronze at first, which I think one of them I do. But we'll come back to that. So I'm just letting you lot read what the thing says. If you want to read what Dan Solis says, or Solis, I'm not entirely sure how you actually pronounce it. I can't remember how you pronounce his last name. I think it's Solis, I think. But yeah, so we're on the outside. We're basically in the first corner, just going around it. Yeah, I sort of decelerated a little bit there. You don't really need to. I think you can do that basically pretty much flat out. That's why I've got the silver instead of the gold. So I was like, okay, well maybe I just don't need to decelerate as much, or not at all. I think I still do decelerate a little bit, just to get around that initial hairpinning kind of bit. It's like a little bit of deceleration, but that's it. You don't need to worry about using your brakes or anything like that. You need to carry on, and then boom, done. There you go. So you possibly can do that kind of flat out, but if not, this is a slight deceleration, but that's it. Nothing crazy, nothing mental, and done. So next we're going to go to B4, which is basically the same thing, but it's in a slightly faster car. So obviously you will need to do a bit of braking here. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bosh. Now you can see there are some times on the right hand side. That's from other people who are sort of like on the friends list of this profile. But we're not aiming to beat them. If I beat them, if I beat any of them, I beat them. If not, oh well. Yeah, see, technically you still need to brake too much there, really at all. Just like very light braking. I think this first one I failed, I think. Yeah. So it's like, okay, needed to just have a bit more control with the corner. So go back into it. Bada bing, bada boom. And it's just basically the same thing again, but with just a bit more better control, a little bit of brake. Mostly you're just messing around with the accelerator, and that's it. Go around the corner, and then kaboom, done. There you go, we got the gold. Lovely. Right, so yeah, get past that, bada bing, bada boom. Nice and easy, nice and quick, nice and fast, boom, boom, boom. There you go, position 4. Right, on to B5 with this. I think this is B5, yep. Then on B5, just doing the, well, what do they call it? Is it Dunlop? They call it a Dunlop corner. Yeah, Tsukuba, because it has that like Dunlop arch in the thing. No, yeah. So I think it's a Dunlop corner or something like that. I think, if I remember correctly. Blah 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 blah. I decided. I think this is another one where I just decelerate a little bit too much, so I'm a little bit slower than the time. It's like, okay, well, got the bronze. It's like, okay, well, I definitely decelerated way too much there, so we'll try again, but this time with a little bit less deceleration and going a bit more faster, a bit more speed. There you go, a bit more control of the corner. Oh, take a look at that. You can see the difference there, because you got, obviously I've got my ghost on, so you can see my ghost in the river there, and we leave it behind, and then bosh, much faster, like over a half a second faster than the first attempt. And pretty simple. There's that piece of crap car. Let's carry on. We'll go on from B5, now on to B6. Each license, as far as I'm aware, has 10 segments to the actual license, so you only got to beat 10 segments. It's nothing too crazy. Yeah, try and get gold on everything can be a little bit tricky for some people. I mean, I'm probably not going to get gold on everything, but oh well. We're doing Dunlop corner again, but with just a bit of a faster car. But I go a little bit heavy on the accelerator there, sort of thing. Not really keeping massive control of the car, so obviously that something down to that tiny little bit. And trust me, it gets frustrating when you're trying to do something in it that's timed, and you're literally like at that kind of time of, you know, to get a goal is 11 seconds, and your time is 11:077. It's like, oh, for God's sake! He's like, couldn't you just give me the gold at that point? And there we go, get it there a little bit faster, done, sorted. But yeah, it gets a little bit annoying when your times are just out by like literally a couple of hundredths of a second. It's like, really? Right, on to B7, which was Trial Mountain. Let's do one of the corners at Trial Mountain. See, this is the corner that I'm not entirely sure. It's not so much how you take the corner, but there's a corner where there isn't any kind of like curve or grass or about that. It's just a very kind of like banked corner. But if you watch the racing line from the AI, for example, they'll always basically kind of take the route that I kind of took. But you can see, look, because they will tend to go here, but you got that big yellow bit there. Now I'm gonna guess that technically, if I drove on that, it would class me basically as going out of bounds, I would imagine. And if you are doing online races, that you will get a penalty for it. I'm not entirely sure. I have no idea with that one. So you can do that a lot faster. It just depends on what class is out of bounds and what isn't. But that's it for B7. Now we're on to B8 at Bathurst or Mount Panorama. Which Mount Panorama is not a track I'm a huge fan of, to be honest. Not a massive fan of this track. It's not to say it's terrible. It's just that I'm not a huge fan of it. Yeah, especially when you have to start going back down the mountain. I don't like that. No, I'm not. Yeah, you know. I swear with this one though, with the corner I'm doing, I swear there was a bug with the braking indicator. Because I get the 50, because it's like I've done it before where I've got the 50 and it still doesn't go off. You know, it still doesn't flash to indicate I need to start to start braking. And it's like, well, when do you start braking? Yeah, there you go, 40, you go 90, and it's like, but there it did. But there's been times where it hasn't. And it's just like, well, you know, it's a pain in the ass. But there you go, that's that one done. But yeah, Mount Panorama, not one of my favourite tracks. Quite kind of low down on it, to be honest. I'll still race around on it, but it's quite low on my list of tracks that I enjoyed to race on. Right, but we're going to move on to B9, which is, well, Dragon's Tail. So this one, I think this one I did first. I think this was one I did the first time round. I It's that bang bang bosh, done, easy, simple, nothing complicated whatsoever. Blah blah blah. Alright, get into it. Me. So it's using the Civic. Now it's got to get just past this bit. Now normally this can tend to be a little bit easier if depending on what time of day, because normally there's a shadow around that area, which is normally quite a good place to start braking. You probably could brake it a little bit later, but there's a shadow that's normally cast by that crane. If the shadow's there, that's a good indicator, early indicator of when to start braking, and then after that you just mess around with it a little bit, bada bing, bada boom. Right, that's it for B9, and then finally on to what will be the last one, which is B10, which is basically the final exam. It's the last one we need to do, which is supposed to kind of incorporate all aspects of everything that you've been doing throughout the entire license. I think for later on in the later licenses, some of the things are a little bit different. So I think like the special license, which I don't know what that is for. Because I did the main kind of the so-called main campaign, and yet you only really need to do the National B and the National A, as far as I'm aware. I don't know if there's any other purposes to the other licenses. I don't know. But I will find out. I'm sure I'll find out on my other profile that I used to play the game. I'm sure we'll find out. Well, I'll find out whether there's more to it or not. I have no idea. And there you go, we got the gold. Pretty straightforward, standard stuff. I'm not gonna, I probably could do a little bit faster, but I'm not gonna bother wasting my time with that. It's like, I've got the gold, I don't need to put in a faster time. And so that's it. Now that we've got that done, that's basically all of the licenses done. That's, for the B license. I'm just letting the B play just whilst I do this all out of it. But yeah, so that's all of the segments of the National B license. So next license we'll need is the National A, but we don't need. I don't need to do that for a little while, so we don't need to do that one just yet. And so yeah, that's it. And for those who are not who are thinking about buying a game but are not totally sure about, that's kind of an aspect of the game, which is the whole licensing. Which wasn't obviously in GT Sport, because obviously GT Sport's main focus was on the online aspect of it, whereas GT7 obviously is wanting to try and brings a little bit more focus onto the single player aspect of it. But yeah, I don't know if I can't remember if you need the licenses for online racing. I can't quite remember. I'm just basically now getting the cars for getting all gold, but you also get the all bronze at the same time. So if you get gold and everything, you technically get 2 cars instead of just 1. But yeah, so we're basically done now. Just going to level up a little bit. Bada bing, bada boom. So probably in the next video, yes, Lopez is now going to speak to me, but we don't need to worry about you, Lopez, because you can't talk right now. But yeah, so Lopez is just the guy who sort of guides you, so to speak, through the National A license. But yeah, so in the next video, we'll probably be doing some more of the actual menus. Probably doing a couple more of the menu requirements. Bada bing, bada boom. Looking into possibly doing a car design. It all depends. Bish, bosh, bosh. All simple, all happy. So if you did enjoy this video, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And in the description below, there will also be a link to my Discord, where you can find some stuff interesting stuff on there. But that's it. I'm about to run out of time. So until next time, I will see you all later.